Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe if you haven't already. I find it interesting that before Straight Drop's last court appearance, it became viral news that he was beat up in jail. And what's interesting is that everybody on the internet had this man implicated in this crime way before police called him out. And now that he's incarcerated, more information is coming out to make this whole investigation look janky as hell. You see, I believe a lot of these law officials are heavily relying on information being put on these platforms, which I don't believe is adequate when it comes to evidence. Especially when there's allegations that individuals posted certain things on the internet. However, their location at the time would be in conflict with the allegations made against the people on the internet. This is an audio in which I've heard in which people have implicated that Straight Drop was in California at the time of this shooting. So then you had all these people on the internet overthinking, talking about, well, then he must have made these posts, got on a plane, and then tried to put himself in another location as an alibi. But guess what? The police should have plane tickets and other things like that to verify that information if it were true. But rather than people sit back and let the police do their job and or hold them accountable for misinformation, people like to run and fuel rumors and don't think about the negative impact it could have.
Well, went live on November the 17th.
Hold on, fam. Who went live that day? Let everybody know who you talking about, man. Let everybody know.
Straight Drop. He was in California.
So you saying Straight Drop was in Cali at the time of the shooting, right? That's what you saying?
Yeah.
So did he pull the trigger, or did he just make the call, or did he try to put everything? It was just two shooters, right?
I said, how can you be in two places at one time?
Exactly. So if he wasn't here, who said that he was the one pulling the trigger?
And if you got money to set up anything, you ain't got to do nothing but catch a flight. As soon as you land and you book where you stand, you get on social media. That's to give an alibi to yourself.
Right.
That's right.
California or not, yes or no?
I mean,
He's not
y'all
there.
really understand.
They
It doesn't
tricky.
matter if he was in
His
Memphis
partner-
or
his partner
not.
got his stamp
He
on.
wasn't
They
one of
posted
the
that.
shooters. I mean,
He's
y'all
not there.
really understand. It
They
doesn't
tricky.
matter if he was in
His
Memphis
partner-
or
his partner
not.
got his
He
stamp
wasn't
on. They
one of
posted
the
that.
shooters. We never
That's the
said
same
he was
video.
one of the
You can
shooters.
save a video. He's
Y'all
not there.
really understand. It
They
doesn't
tricky.
matter if he was in
His
Memphis
partner-
or
his partner
not.
got his
He
stamp
wasn't
on. They
one of
posted
the
that.
shooters. I mean,
He's
y'all
not there.
really understand. It
They
doesn't
tricky.
matter if he was in
His
Memphis
partner-
or
his partner
not.
got his
He
stamp on.
wasn't
They
one of
posted
the
that.
shooters.
Respect to the Rundown podcast. I love that channel. And obviously, I love watching content that makes you think and goes against the narratives being pushed on these internet streets. I find it odd when you look at certain cases, you will see this type of setup in which people doing the most to cover up certain information, and then you look at other cases and they're relying on putting certain information on the internet just to let someone appear to be guilty, and then they're going to show up in court without the proper defense. And the good old black folk that say Black Lives Matter will be all on the internet laughing, talking about that's what he gets, even though they don't know without certainty that he's guilty of the allegations. So who is really benefiting when we keep seeing all these men being lost to the system, all these men being lost to the streets, and all these people finding every excuse to lock somebody up and then wait on them to prove they're innocent? Is that justice? Most people with common sense know you're not going to put certain actions on the World Wide Web for everybody to watch. And it's very funny how the black folk like to selectively pick the things that they want to endorse, such as no snitching, when according to the law, it's your duty to report crimes, not sit around watching it and then want to holler some Black Lives Matter when there's some police brutality that you don't like, or it revolves around people that you might like. So let me repeat what I just said. According to the law, it is your duty to report crimes, okay? So when I hear these other cases and I hear people talking about everybody knew this, everybody knew that, this is a well-known fact. and all this other whoop-de-wah bullshit, and it's used as excuses to sugarcoat the fact that they had a fucked up ass case to try to prove, which they knew they couldn't. So they had to wrap up this whole conspiracy in order to make specific charges stick. Does that mean people should look the other way?
Yo, can I with you? What?
ACP, did you see this?
Look, if it ain't official Dana J, Levi for Kelly, Primadonnanews, I don't even want to see it. Just take the phone. Look, you got some weed? Dang. Gotta get some. All right, hurry up. Diesel and them here, everybody here, we waiting on you. All right.
I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless.
When it comes to the case against Robert Kelly, it doesn't take much looking through my profile to see it was easy for me to track down a lot of this information, notice the sources, and began to give reasonable doubt as to why I didn't believe these narratives were true, especially when you can access so much information publicly. I then had a problem with individuals taking it upon themselves to violate the rights of alleged victims to fit their stories without any thoughts to how she personally feels. Now, if people want to come out and tell their stories, that's on them. If people want to use these platforms to incriminate themselves, that's on them. But to start involving people who don't want to be involved in it, to violate their rights to prove your points, that's the problem I have with a lot of these good old black folk on the internet, especially when everybody avoid all the corruption in this case, bypass all these other celebrities with freaky deaky tapes that have been exposed, and bypass the fact that this tape obviously has been altered. All these people in the industry had no problem dealing with this man. Therefore, how can they come public telling us we're complicit to crimes when they the ones talking about they knew this, they knew that, they worked with him? We don't know him clearly. The icing on the cake, when I'm reading these indictments against Robert Kelly and I notice evidence has magically walked away and all these people in the public have been presented all these notions. So when we talk about ineffective counsel and the fact that this man did not get a fair and unbiased jury, we should keep these facts in mind regardless of how we feel about the accusations. And last but not least, there's nothing wrong with a corrupt system being challenged to prove their case and let go of these bullshit ass conspiracies. No man, no woman, no individual should be locked up on motherfucking circumstantial evidence when the law says you should be proven guilty. Make this shit make sense. But I'm supposed to take serious the people who will come out here and publicly incriminate themselves and then want to whine about the fact that nobody is going to hide the shit they do while the government puts all the blame on other individuals, which is not right. That is not justice. Sorry to tell you that.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people to lie, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video, audio, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video, audio. You ever seen Asriel at my house? You ever seen parents at my house?
You see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you? I see what I'm saying. I thought. No, so, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
The more questions that cop asked, the more I thought I wasn't gonna never see daylight again.
This time you said you bought the bottle.
I was just waiting for them to tell me they seen that damn videotape. But they had it.
No, you done fucked up, don't you? No, it doesn't. No, you done fucked up.
Without the take, they had nothing.
Okay, because I'm letting you know now. Well, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, I did want to tell you, to switch the 90 days out, but when you do switch them out, I did have a lot of stuff to talk to you about, like really good stuff. What do you mean? We already talked about last week switching out the days. We've been talked about that, so why are you saying wow?
Yeah, because you hung up on me and called right here to the building, and they called me to the floor to discuss the same thing I had already told you.
Sorry for you. No. Don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. Do not say anything to me. Joy is in jail for assault. So I feel so sorry for the both of you. Don't say anything other to me. I feel bad for you. I know, yes, you do. You do. You knew I was coming up here to get Joy, and you lied to her. Yep. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you, Bear. I'm sorry for you. I am so sorry for you. Oh, it's Bear. It's done. Bear. It's done. It's over. You may not even make it to trial. I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry. I really did love you. And you lied to me, and you used me, and you played me. Yes, you did, Bear. Bye.
Yep, they tried it, and we ain't going.
There go that little rat, she getting in the motherfucking ambulance. They done put in the ambulance. Got her ass whooped. Ariel. Okay, the Trump Tower. Little bitch.
Now, unlike a lot of these other people who speak on the case, I decided that I would back on my own research and findings. Why? Because clearly, as y'all say on this internet, it's been 20 plus years of these allegations. All these people had plenty opportunity to get ahead of these allegations. But instead, if you did your research, you would see this long history of fraud and janky ass behavior that would possibly give you insight to the case the government is trying to make. So anybody with common sense would have demanded that the government prove without a shadow of a doubt that Robert Kelly is barking these orders to these weird ass people instead of allowing them to hide behind the R. Kelly brand, commit all these crimes, even publicly, and then put it all in Robert Kelly's lap as though he is supposed to be in control of these janky ass people taking advantage of his brand. But at the end of the day, this is good old America where they can lock your ass up and wait for you to prove that you are innocent versus them proving you are guilty. And the people bickering over little petty ass bullshit are handing the government exactly what they want. These lucrative assets. Duh.
Like Me Too movement played a role to get a part of a goddamn TV series to be their name affiliated with it, and I ain't get a phone call. Even from Tanya Burks. So let's stop making people false heroes. And I'm not saying that about anybody, because not the nation, because I know Minister Ferguson, he definitely spoke. I think he had a private meeting with him. Nobody really know what the depths of the meeting went, but I know he did have a meeting with him. But these other ones that was a part of Lifetime and all this shit, we need them. We need them to step up and them to act like they plan a platform. All we doing is playing on each other as black people. That's it. For fame and fortune. That's it. I want to say that, Lo, and I don't mean to cut you off. I got to say this. I got to say it. I see who Tasha Unwind on here. I see you. You're a good person. I want to see all these other bloggers that's on here.
Look, Angelo couldn't even keep a straight face with that shit.
I want you to take what I'm going to say to you right now. Right now. You got got a big platform. I really need for you to hear me clearly. I need everyone who said what happened on that Lifetime documentary, hold them accountable. Hold Lifetime accountable. Hold Blue and Mary accountable. Hold these people accountable to make sure these people can go on Lifetime and say what they said happened. Hold these people accountable. Make sure they talk to Kim Fox. Make sure they talk to Carl Howard. Make sure they talk to Homeland Security. Make sure they talk to the FBI. These people are waiting on to hear from you. From my knowledge, some of them have not heard from you. And if you haven't talked to them, well, shame on you.
All of this, you're going to see this in future testimony, but Azrael knows where everything is. When I say the tape, she knows who's who. She knows where the bank accounts are, where the money is. She knows who's using who. Not seen what we've been trying to show you, that you've been brainwashed. But once she watched that documentary and she read the emails that I sent over to her, that he was sending to Joycelyn, telling Joycelyn the same things that he told her, hiding other tapes for Azrael, just like London on the Track's mom was doing, Cheryl, I forgot her last name, Cheryl Mack or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell you without telling you too much, because like I said, this is a federal case, and I've even helped out the feds with all the information that I've been given. So I was working with the Department, was it the Department of State? Homeland Security, one of them damn please. Homeland Security, my lawyers were to hand them over everything that we had received.
I talked to Angela now. You gotta get rid of Metoo, and you have to get rid of this public, because they are working with Avenatti. This was a whole, like, this Gail King thing. They knew about this from like weeks ago, like they've been planning this. I know you don't probably want to listen to me, but please, you cannot let him do this interview on Monday. Like, all of this stuff is a plan to just like put you apart and make shit worse.
Cannot let who do an interview?
This Daryl Johnson guy. The guy who's supposed to be like the publicist or whatever.
Rip me apart how?
Get you away?
Rip me apart how?
Like, it's just all things. Like, I don't know.
No. Just be specific. Be specific. Rip me apart how?
I don't know the how.
Okay, I want you to find out. I want you to find out how and let me know.
And when I drop the videos, the pictures, the paperwork, for him to get on live to say that Azrael is not right in R. Kelly, really? Really? Now, I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
The article state that the other person was in trouble. It did not. It did not. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You think we don't know? And I'm not saying that they can't pull no shit, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the article at hand. There was a reason why the article didn't say what it said. And for people to make all these assumptions and oh boy, to be a lawyer, you should know. If the feds got something, they ain't gonna announce it. They already got it. And if they gonna do something with it, they gonna do something with it. Ain't gonna be no reporter letting people know ahead of time what's going on. When you hear Fed investigation, everybody know that. Guess what? You hear after they've made arrests, okay? You hear after that.